Hello, 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 beautiful beings. Welcome to another Galactic Federation meeting. Thank you for being here, Starseeds, as always. Hopefully the lighting and the mic, the sound is a little bit better today. Set up some of my equipment. I am super, super excited to deep dive today. It kind of feels like, so what are we? We are July 11th. Feels like it's been a bit of a cluster this past little while. I don't know what's going on. I've been in it as much as all of you. So just wanted to really deep dive into what does balance look like? How do we step into and access balance at a deeper level, especially when it comes to very different vibrational frequencies that we're trying to navigate? Before we deep dive and get started, be free or feel free to talk to each other, whether it be in the YouTube comment section or in the live section right now. So where are you guys from in the world? And how have you been feeling? Like, where are you at energetically, emotionally, physically? What's going on? I think we're all experiencing different aspects of the spectrum, but it's been a wild ride for sure. And this is a live channeling, so I do encourage you all to quiet your mind. And then I also want to just say, as a disclaimer, take it or leave it as always. If it resonates with you, then it's for you. If not, then it's not for you. And that is totally okay. I have zero expectation as to what's going to come out today. I'm very excited as always, because I always feel validated and refreshed and like I learned something new from this. And I hope that you guys feel the same. At the end, we are going to tap into what is in store for the rest of 2021. July is literally the middle of the year. So I'm curious. I mean, systems have been collapsing, people have been exposed. What else do we need to know for 2021? So that'll be at the end. And then also, if we have time, we might go over a little bit. I am totally open to answering one or two of your questions as well. So if you are live with us, feel free to check out the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and submit your questions. You can also upvote the question that you like the most, and you can comment on other people's questions as well. So kind of gets the conversation started. This is the first time I think I've done Q&A in a GFL meeting, so hopefully it works. Like, we're totally not sure about how that kind of works, but yeah, so hopefully we'll figure it out. Okay, yeah, and then I guess before I just kind of start off with, in general, what do we all need to know right now? I just want to mention the System Override course, which is the V course. Is out right now. It's 2222. It's absolutely incredible. I think it's about 4-5 hours of your time, and it is meant to really transform your vibrational frequency and uplift you out of any sort of fear state. So check that out. And then I encourage all of you to head over to my website, maybe after watching this, and sign up for a free membership. Right now, we're just kind of getting everyone in, and then slowly but surely we're building that membership, and the team is working really hard on that. So it's going to be really fantastic. So check it out. All right, that's about it. Without further ado, let's deep dive. Let's just kind of open up the energies to the GFL. Let's see who comes through and what they need to say at this time, especially related to balance. So just 1 second. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I actually wanted to get started with a little guided meditation. So can we all please close our eyes, stop typing away, and just focus for a second. Close your eyes. Be here with all of us right now. Taking a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, holding that breath, and out through the nose or the mouth. Doing that a couple of times. Allowing your breath to center you. Allowing your breath to focus your attention into the present moment. Every breath out, every deep exhale, you're releasing all of that old energy, any sort of frustrations, attachments, anxieties, any emotions, any disharmony, anything that you're dealing with. Just let it go now. And I want you to imagine this beautiful, golden, silky, almost golden pearly thread going from the top of your head all the way into the center of the universe, connecting to infinite, pure source frequency. Feeling that energy washing over you, rushing through the cellular DNA of your body, awakening the hidden aspects and gifts of your being. Feeling this vibration fill you up. And then I want you to imagine or just feel in your body a really beautiful grounding cord going from the core of your body, the core of your being, down your back, down your spine, and out through the bottom of your root chakra, down and down, all the way to the center of the earth, the core of Mother Gaia. I want you to imagine that cord as a beautiful, glowing, white, forest green energy, almost like a sparkly forest green. Allow Mother Gaia to ground you. Connect yourself to her. Allow her to take any burdens, pain, or anxiety from you. I want you to update yourself right now in the present moment. All of your parallel timelines, all of your parallel selves. I want you to bring those aspects here to this moment right now, to be fully present, fully aware of the connections and the information and the DNA activation that you will receive. And last but not least, I want you to visualize, imagine, feel, vibrate with the frequency of a bubble around yourself, around your loved ones, around your pets, and around your home. And this bubble is a bubble of protection, of high vibrational frequency, so nothing of a lower frequency can enter. And it's also a bubble of invisibility, that only vibrations that match your own can see you and enter into that bubble. This bubble will last for the entirety of this event and long after this event ends. Just breathing that energy in. And so it is. You can open your eyes. All right, let's connect to the GFL. Let's see what they have to say about right now, about balance. Like, just so curious where they're at. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Hmm. Yeah. So interesting. Okay, so the first kind of group council that I'm going to, just instantly drawn to, is the Palladian Security Council. No surprise, it's kind of our like average check-in. So interesting. Okay, so they're talking about the battle, right? We're talking about balance. They go right into the battle between light and dark on this planet at this time, and it was so fascinating. So I didn't really ask them a particular question. They just gave me this information. They were talking about how light workers have been basically slammed with psychic attacks and lower vibrational frequency energy in the past month. Um, and whether that be from a family member who was kind of momentarily possessed by an entity, maybe that's from a coworker or your boss, maybe that's from your own internal dialogue and intrusive thoughts. But light workers have been targeted and attacked in this past month. What's really fast, so they brought that up. What's really fascinating is that the Palladian Security Council was also telling me that um, just because you're not getting attacked doesn't mean they're pulling back their defenses, their attack mechanism. And I said, oh, so my follow-up question was, is the dark side on this planet, are they able to attack all of humanity all at once? And the response was no, they don't have the resources to attack us all at once, especially those of us who don't participate in mass media and news. So it's so funny because the Security Council was talking about they will bring a wave in to attack the star seeds, and they will bring a wave in to attack the mainstream people, is kind of how they put it. Basically, the people who haven't woken up yet doesn't mean that they're not going to wake up. All right. And so I said, but why is there a deviation? Why is there a difference? And they came back with the dark side. Okay, they need certain resources for the star seeds. And I said, but there really isn't a lot of like awakened star seeds at this time on their mission. So it's a very small percentage of the population. So you would think that if they have the resources to attack the mainstream people who haven't woken up, then they have plenty of resources to attack us. And they said, actually, as a matter of fact, it takes 10 times, I don't know, they didn't say 10 times, but it takes, triple the amount of resources to attack and lower the vibrational frequency of a star seed than it does of just a normal mainstream person. I mean, if you think about it, they need zero individual resources to attack someone who hasn't woken up yet. All they have to do is manipulate the news. And people who haven't woken up are completely just getting fed illusion, lies, projection, manipulation, right? And it's very easy. When they choose to attack us, we've got defenses. We've got, I don't want to say spells, but we've got tools. We've got light weapons. We've got spirit guides. We've got parallel selves. Like, we're tapped into our tools. And we've even talked about these tools many times before in GFL videos and in YouTube videos. So we're armored, and they need a lot more energy. They need a lot more resources to attack us and bring us down. So this past month has been the attack on the star seeds. They're going back to attack the mainstream. It's so fascinating. I swear this came up last month. So in June 11th, I don't remember what I channel from them. It literally just comes right through me. But I believe that they said, they were talking about something going down in August, like some sort of huge fear tactic. That was either in June or in May. They're bringing up that information again, and they're saying, once again, there's going to be something that hits the mainstream. For us, it's going to be like, oh, it's a conspiracy, or oh, it's a, we're going to question it. It doesn't really affect us in the same way. So fascinating. So they're bringing that up. Something once again is going to happen in August, and that's when the attack on the star seeds lessens, so that they can really rally the forces to attack the mainstream with fear again. Oh my goodness. So the battle's still waging, but I just thought it was fascinating how the dark side balances their attack. I just really didn't even know that. Let's see if there's anything else I want to mention at this time, or anything else we need to be vigilant around. So one second. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. So they're actually bringing something else up. This is really fascinating. There's also an attack that's happening right now on Earth, on Mother Gaia. I mean, sounds obvious, but on the actual physical planet itself, there is an attack that's happening. And I asked what the attack looks like. So this is by the dark side, purposefully to attack Mother Gaia. And they are doing this in particular because the dark side knows that Mother Gaia is due to basically give birth to this new consciousness, a new Earth, and they're going to swap places, and Mother Gaia is going to move on, and we're going to have a new frequency enter the planet. So when I said, what does the attack look like? It looks like, I don't know, I think maybe the word for this is fracking, but I'm not 100% sure. I did get a very clear image, and the image that I got was like holes. It feels like they're drilling holes into Mother Gaia, and it almost feels like they're like either filling the holes with like toxic stuff. Like, I don't know if it's like nuclear waste, or like toxic sludge, or like tar or something, or if they're just drilling holes into Mother Gaia and just extracting resources, but it's really hurting Mother Gaia. And actually, as a matter of fact, what the council is telling me is that when, as Mother Gaia is being hurt and harmed, it's actually not allowing for Mother Gaia to move out of this planet and for a new soul to take that place. And they likened it to, for example, if someone, okay, let's just, I'm not going to use me as an example, but say someone gets really, really injured, like really hurt, like really beat up or something. It's possible, okay, it's rare, but it's possible that the soul leaves that body, a new soul comes in that has a fight, has a will to live, right? Like a walk-in experience, and all of a sudden, they're replaced. If the body is too damaged, a new soul is unable to enter the body. There's no life left in the body. So this is another angle that they're taking, is an attack on Mother Gaia. I wonder if maybe that's a fear. Oh yeah. Then I asked the question, if the transplant was made between old Mother Gaia and like this new like baby Gaia, I guess, if the transplant was made when the earth isn't strong, what would happen? Like, I just asked worst case scenario, if they still had to make the transfer in a couple of years or what have you, and the strength of Mother Gaia isn't strong enough, what would happen? And basically I got earthquakes. That's what I saw. It's just like almost like Mother Gaia having like a 10 point, 12 point, whatever earthquake, and kind of splitting in two. Um, and I wonder if that's what the drilling or the fracking does, is like, I'm not sure, like moving the tectonic plates, or I'm not sure, but clearly they know that that's another way to attack. But they also don't want to kill the planet because they want it for themselves. So fascinating. Okay, okay. Okay, let's kind of move on, switch topics a little bit from the attack, and let's just see if there's something else that maybe the council, maybe someone else wants to mention specifically about what we need to know regarding balance. And maybe we should bring it personal, like to the individual starseed. I mean, we're all struggling to maintain a balance. Is there someone that wants to step through to kind of give us advice on this freaking tumultuous time that we're in right now? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we've got someone coming through here. This is G from the Octurian Council. If you remember, he's like the little blue being who is with three other Octurians. So it's a council of four, and it's a timeline council. Love G, so informative. So he comes through. So we're talking about balance. He comes through and he's talking about the individual starseed, what we're all dealing with. So what he's saying is, we at an individual level are struggling to maintain the word that comes through is like solidarity in our current reality. So it's almost like I go to drink a coffee and I'm like, I'm going to drink a coffee. And then Nat comes in and says, babe, do you really want to drink that coffee? And I'm like, oh my goodness, now that you're saying it, I don't know if I want to drink a coffee. Okay. Small example of how other people are, and the masses and the fear paradigm and the matrix as a whole is stepping into our reality, disempowering us and forcing us to align to the narrative or the paradigm on planet Earth right now at this time. Basically, what G is saying is we are going to feel chaotic. We are going to feel overwhelmed. We are going to feel disempowered. We are going to feel doubtful if we continue to adhere to other people's projected realities. So say, for example, this news article comes out and it goes viral, okay? And the news article or just mainstream news is all saying the same thing, all promoting the same fear tactic. Oh my God, there is a new strain that has entered into the population and we're all gonna die, like, right? And so if you choose not to watch the news, you're gonna have a neighbor, you're gonna have your parent, you're gonna have a best friend to say, hey, aren't you freaking scared of this new strain? And that's part of the problem right now with our balance and our ability to maintain balance and our ability to manifest. The quickest and easiest way for all of us to understand if we are on our path or not is if we are manifesting things after we speak it and ask for it into existence. If you feel low vibrational, if you feel confused, if you feel chaotic, if you feel like you're spiraling, then most likely you're giving your power away. And actually, G gave me an affirmation. What was it? One second. Yep. Yep. So the affirmation is, and hopefully you have a pen and paper to write this down, I am the only one creating my reality. And it's actually really important. So G was talking about all of us needing to check in with ourselves to say, am I currently in charge of my reality? Am I currently creating my reality? And checking in with yourself. No, I don't feel like I'm fully empowered. So, what aspect of my reality am I triggered? Am I frustrated? Am I attached? Am I feeling overwhelmed with? Right? And I've noticed, for me anyway, that when someone comes into my day and says, "Hey, you really need to watch this," and I'm like, "Hey, I don't feel like I want to watch that," and they really push it on me, it actually triggers me. I feel very frustrated in not being heard or seen or listened to, and I don't want to do that thing. I don't want to watch that news art. I don't want to listen to that guy or whatever, right? And so right now, people who are not grounded in their presence in their body, or awakened to a level where we're okay with obtaining everything, and we're simultaneously okay with obtaining and having nothing. When you're in that free fall, totally trusting state, then you are very confident in creating your own reality. Okay, when you don't know who you are, when you don't know where you're going, when you don't know what's happening, when maybe you're drinking too much wine, you're going to be very vulnerable to your reality being infringed upon, which is instantly going to throw us out of balance, out of our own balance. Your balance looks like what your balance looks like. Your reality looks like what your reality looks like. There is no one, not me, not the GFL, not anyone, not Grayson, okay, who can tell you what that balance looks like and feels like for you. So right now, that keyword is sovereignty. We need to maintain sovereignty. You can even state the intention. I am a sovereign being, and it's okay for me to say no, right? Or I choose sovereignty by saying no. I choose sovereignty by saying yes, especially when we have other people in our lives who are trying to infringe their attachments, their beliefs, their ideas, their understanding of the world, especially if they've been watching mainstream news or what have you, because they're subscribing to the narrative that is being projected upon this matrix reality. Okay, this is the ultimate test. Oh yeah, there's also a message too that it is going to get worse before it gets better. I was getting that message 2, 3, 5 years ago that it's going to get worse before it gets better. We're in a pretty bad time right now, but once again, I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. So just kind of keeping that in mind and keeping your sovereignty aligned. That is the only place that you're going to feel imbalanced, is not aligning to what it is that you want. And if you're like, okay, cool, I'm not aligning to anyone else's projections or narratives, then in that freedom, in that neutrality where you are free, you need to ask yourself, what is it that you do want? What do you want spiritually? What do you want professionally? What do you want personally? Don't feel selfish for asking for what you want out of this experience. Because if you're not asking for what you want in all 3 levels, then you're just going to be floating. And floating is only going to get you so far. Okay. Once again, it's a balance between being proactive and surrendering to the moment. Once again, it's okay. Personal, professional, spiritual. It doesn't all have to be good vibes and spirituality and ascending. It can be personal. It can be relationship oriented. It can be professional. It can be work, job, financial oriented. That's okay. We got to exit out of the guilt shame narrative of having the things that we want to have. That's okay. It's okay to have nice things, right? So that's a balance as well. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, timelines. It just feels like all these timelines are converging and merging together. It's creating this cluster energy. And then we add in other people's projected timelines and expectations of you, and it just creates even more chaos. So yeah, so we just have to realign to our highest, most sovereign place. So good. Okay, awesome. Good. I'm just going to ask G if there's anything else he wants to mention, and then we'll move on, see who else wants to come through, talking about balance, what's going on right now, individually, collectively. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so one more piece of advice here from G. So he's talking about flipping timelines, all right? And he's talking about how right now a lot of us, definitely myself included, have been very unsure of certain things. So say, for example, we'll bring it back to coffee and tea. Say, for example, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I want tea today. No, I want coffee. You know what? I want tea. I really do want tea. You know what? I'm going to go for coffee, right? Right now we're flipping back and forth, and that's a simple example, but we're flipping back and forth on really big things right now. And G is talking about us The second we make a decision in our mind is the second that our physical 3D reality aligns to help us get to the end goal of that decision. If we're back and forth on what decision we're going to make, there's going to be a lot of chaos and confusion, but also a lot of flipping timelines between tea and coffee, in the relationship, out of the relationship. So I asked G, what is the best advice that he can give for a lot of us who are unsure about decisions that we're making? He said, even if you're still unsure, to make a decision and to really stick with it. And he said it's detrimental to flip back and forth because it's very draining. It exhausts us. It's like totally exhausting to be flipping back and forth between timelines, between decisions. So just make a decision, follow it through. And maybe you get the tea, maybe you drink the tea and you're like, you know what, tea was great, but I also want coffee. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can, well, I mean, I've, for something like a relationship, you know, it's a little bit stickier, a little bit trickier, right? Maybe, for example, you're in between being an entrepreneur and getting a 9-to-5 job. Get the 9-to-5 job and start the side hustle of the entrepreneur. You can do things simultaneously, but if you're doing nothing and you're just flipping back and forth between what you want to do, you're just going to drain yourself energetically because your entire reality shifts to align to what you want. Then your entire reality shifts to align to something else that you want. Okay, so stay in a place of neutrality, get back to your heart center and align yourself to your energy and frequency. And that's going to help you discern and figure out, what do I feel the most excited about? And follow that. When we're too in our head and we're too stuck in this physical reality, we are not going to be clear about which path to take because we're not going to know who we are and what we want in that moment or what we need in that moment. Okay, so if all else fails and you're still very confused as to what decision you need to make, let go of everything in that moment. Get back into your heart, quiet your mind, focus on your breath, and really ask yourself what excites you to the highest vibration. Okay. Okay, good. Let's see what else needs to come through at this time. Okay, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, okay, so we've got a little visit from one of the fan favorites, Timothy. He is so amazing. Love him so much. He's up on a ship. He's definitely getting taller. I'll say that. He was much shorter before, maybe around my height, maybe like 5 feet tall. But now he's taller than that, maybe 5'5". He looks like he's literally growing. And time works differently over there. Like I feel like there is some sort of rapid growth. But he looks more like he's 14 rather than 12 or 10. I feel like it's so funny. Like it almost like the visual that I always get is him coming to me with this giant binder of information based on whatever topic I want to talk about. Of course, they don't have paper, they don't have printers. There's not a binder that he has. It's just the information. It's a representation of the information that he holds. And so I said, Timothy, thanks for being here. What do you, it's like a little fly buzzing around. What do you need humanity to know about balance? And he it's like got his glasses on. He doesn't wear glasses, but he's like just getting so prepared, like so ready, so excited to relay this information. He goes right into the fact that human beings are probably the most imbalanced of all of the species out there. But we have a reason to be, because we have extra sensitivities, because we are a very temperamental species as it is. So, I mean, he studies human beings. He knows how crazily imbalanced we can get, especially when factoring in the emotions. What else did he say about human beings being imbalanced and then how to rebalance them? He was talking about, what was it? Yes, that's right. Okay. So he was talking about the spectrum. Okay, so let's say I'm like very simple, happy, sad, okay? Just opposite ends of the spectrum. So he says that typically humans only notice that they're out of balance when it's a lower vibrational expression, which makes sense. If you're super happy, super manic for like 3 weeks in a row, you're not going to say, oh, I'm super out of balance, better swing over to the sad side. We never think about it that way. But when we are really sad, depressed, unmotivated, apathetic, what have you, we notice that. It's like, hey, I haven't really had a happy day in a while. And we kind of try and force that swing over to the other side. So I said, what do you recommend to Timothy about balancing as human beings and all of your knowledge about how imbalanced and how easily imbalanced we can get? And he said that it's important that we experience both sides of polarity, both sides of emotion, both sides of the physical body, having very healthy days, having very fit days, but also having very painful days, having days where your body feels sick or low or what have you. Okay, it's important to experience both sides. But he said that we have such a tendency to go, 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 go on one end of the polarity spectrum. And then we're out of balance. We recognize we're out of balance. So then we go, 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 go on the other end of the polarity spectrum. And he said that we don't really ever give ourselves a break. So I asked him, I said, what does that mean? Like, what does having a break from this polarity, like, what does having a break from this matrix world, what does that look like? What does that give us? And he said that it's going back to 0 point frequency. That's what he said. This is something that I've talked about regularly. So maybe it's pets, maybe it's your cats or dogs or fish or turtles or whatever you have at home. Maybe it's nature, going outside, maybe it's meditation. But stepping back from the experience is really important, because even if you're not doing anything all day, you're still experiencing being human all day, right? Even when you're dreaming and you're sleeping, you're still going through multiple experiences. And then you wake up and you're like, whoa, I dreamt all night and I felt like I didn't actually rest. The more that we have a restful state, a 0 point, a neutralized state in this frequency, in this moment, the better it's going to be for everyone. And I totally forgot to actually mention, for those of you who are new, Timothy is a really beautiful, half gray, half human being boy. I would say more like 14 years old now. Very, very, very highly intelligent and absolutely loves studying human beings. Timothy is always down to study you. So, of course, the law of non-intervention, if you give Timothy permission to study you, then most likely he will make your way into your living room or bedroom or what have you to gain access to information that you have, whatever that may be. Okay. And okay, so balance, neutrality, just not going all the time in polarity, so important. What else, Timothy? Is there anything else that human beings need to know, especially at this time, July 2021? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. He does have a message. This is a really, really important one. I just want to go back to what he first said. That's why I have to break it up and relay it piece by piece, because it's almost too much sometimes all at once. Hold on. Okay, so the first thing that he was talking about with this kind of newer topic is he's actually concerned. And I don't think I've seen Timothy concerned before. I said, Timothy, why are you concerned? He said, I'm concerned because I've been observing the collective vibration and it's not looking good. He said, there is famine, there is war, there is genocide, there is uprising, there is refugees, there is political, religious outcry. I mean, there is the V stuff, there is the government stuff, there is the mandatory stuff, there is the suppressing of free will. I mean, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what language you speak, no matter what country you come from, there is oppression that is happening. And Timothy, I don't think he's ever told us before that he's worried. Then that kind of worries me. And I said, oh, geez, like, this isn't good, right? I said, okay, so you're worried. And so basically, he was explaining that he's worried that people are not going to wake up fast enough. And he said he's especially worried. And he brought it back to this information that I was channeling, you know, leading up to 2021. So it was like November, December mostly of 2020 that I was really just almost like yelling in my live videos about this information. So he went back there and he said, Elizabeth, he's like, I'm worried that the starseeds on this planet are getting too caught up in fear. I'm worried that they're getting too caught up in polarity. I'm worried that they're getting too caught up in conspiracy. Once again, he's not denying that the corruption is happening. He's not denying that the V is bad for us, but he said this, and the GFL has been saying this so much, is that the fear around the V is the ultimate test. It is the ultimate test. And right now we're freaking failing. And this is what Timothy said. He said it in a different way. Let go of the fear of, let go of the V, let go of the fear of the V, let go of all of that bullshit, okay? Because people around the world are having fears for their life, for political, religious asylum. They're having fear of their life that they can't feed their children. I mean, they're having other fears, okay? But everyone has fear right now. And Timothy said that if we cannot wake up in time and realize that we are vibrational beings existing in a vibrational reality, then we are going to get consumed by the 3D. We are going to get consumed by the matrix. We need to wake up and understand that we are vibrational. And I said, Timothy, what's the solution here? I mean, there is a lot of fear. There are a lot of agendas. There's a lot of like very intrinsic manipulation that is taking place at this time. What is that final saving grace that we have? What is that, Timothy? What does that look like? And he said, kind of the same thing that we said before. It has to get worse before it gets better. It has to get to a point that all of us are so fed up with this fear around the physical world that we completely let it go. Which means if we completely let go of the physical world, no, that's not taking early exit points. No, that's not choosing to leave. That's none of that. It means that we have to overcome the fear of death. That is the ultimate unknown for everyone on this planet. We go from having everything: sight, sound, taste, smell, relationships, complex emotions, bodies, hair, attachments, stuff, whatever. We go from having it all to the fear of nothing, the fear of death. The second we can override the fear of death is the second that we can understand ourselves as souls, as energy beings, as eternal life. Okay, that is the second that we override the matrix, is when we overcome the fear of death. That is what it comes down to. And we need, maybe not you and I, but the majority of society out there, they need to be pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed to this point where they're so fucking sick of being scared of death that they surrender, that they let go of that fear, that they finally question, If this isn't all that there is, there's really nothing to be scared of in this physical matrix projected reality, then what more is there? We got to get to that point. And it can come through the collapse of religion. It can come through the collapse of the financial industry. Could come through the disclosure of aliens. Could come in many ways of getting to a point where we understand we're energy beings. But the fear is ruling right now, and Timothy is scared. And you know what? I'm not surprised that the GFL is worried. I'm not surprised that Timothy is worried. And here we are, we're on planet Earth. This is the ultimate test, you guys. We're getting close to ascending, but we can't do it if we're holding any fear whatsoever. You can't take that into 5D. You can't take that into a new vibrational frequency. You can't take that into New Earth. You can't. So check your fear, please. Luckily, hopefully, most of you do not have a fear of putting food on the table. Hopefully, most of you do not have a fear of putting a roof over your head. Hopefully, right? A lot of the rest of the world is going through that. We have the luxury. Yeah, we still have to work the 9-to-5 job. Yeah, we still have to make money to pay the bills and put food on the table. Yes. But we are in a luxury position where our fear is around something that, yeah, is corrupt, but we don't necessarily have to hold that fear. It's a luxury to have that fear, to be honest. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But wow. I mean, thank you, Timothy, for saying it. We have that is the biggest reminder. That is something that I'm going to regurgitate over and over and over again, that we have to override fear in the next couple of years, or else it's not looking good for us collectively. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's see, what time are we at actually? Oh my God. Okay, I want to get to, yeah, what's in store for the rest of 2021. I'm so curious. Were you guys able to post your Q&As? Yes, you were. All right, let's see. Get your votes in. So go down to the bottom of your screen, click on the Q&A button and vote on your favorite questions. Okay, we've got a top voted one here from Michael A. Will the people who are V'd perish starting in August as others have predicted? Can they be rescued? Ooh, so interesting. I'm wondering, is this what the GFL is talking about in August? They haven't mentioned what it is that's going to be happening in August. Let's ask the GFL. So will people who are V'd perish starting in August as others have predicted? Okay, let's take a look. And can they be saved? Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not surprised who came through here. It's Bhakta who came through. For those of you who don't know, Bhakta is a Suri being. She is a beautiful aquatic being. She deals with DNA. She is all about hybrid species. She is all about DNA activations. And she has come through in the past year with incredible information regarding DNA activations, 5D, and how that affects us. Okay, a couple things. She comes through with this question, the answer to this question. Oh, let's see if I can answer this live, actually. Answer live. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so she comes through with the response to this question. She said I'm just going to state it. Okay. She did want to say that the V is specifically designed by the elite, by the dark side. We've known this forever, to do two things. One, to depopulate, specifically targeting fertility and other things like that, and potentially to actually depopulate in the other way as well, which is by taking it, you perish or you pass. And then the second is to suppress our ability to ascend. Okay, so it's designed to do that. I mean, we channeled that right at the beginning. It's attacking the RNA, DNA, whatever. I don't know. Okay, so she just kind of went into that. She just wanted to kind of confirm that, I guess, because maybe we've never talked with her about this. What else did she say about it? She said, perish starting in August, as others have predicted. She said, "Oh yes, and then will people be able to be saved?" She said, "Yes, absolutely, without a doubt, people will be able to be saved." It comes back to the same knowledge. We are powerful enough to override this. So she wanted to make that very clear. Even people who are unaware will be able to be saved. So I asked her, how? How will they be able to be saved? She said two things. The first thing she said was surrender. So she actually showed me an image of a person, just kind of a metaphorical image of a person getting really, really sick, like their bodies are shutting down on them, like different things just happening, kind of mayhem happening in their bodies after the V. And this could be well after the V as well. She said, if that person is willing to fully surrender, and once again, the surrender word aligns to upon surrendering, you're accepting physical death, which means that you're able to ascend to a higher frequency because you're not attached to this physical body. Okay, which implies that people who have been V'd, who are not aware, who are not awake, who are not open whatsoever, could get to a point of becoming quite ill, to the point where they actually raise their frequency and they have a freaking awakening because of it. This can awaken. I've heard this before from the GFL, maybe not explained in this way. Maybe that has come through Bhakta before, okay? This can be a cause for awakening for some people. She also mentioned too that the second thing is actually individuals who have been V'd, who have a negative effect from the V, because not everyone will. Not everyone will. And the reason why is their vibration around it. If your vibration is high enough, you can transmute the V and neutralize it. Okay, we've talked about this. This is what the whole course is about. And so she said that for those who are negatively affected, which is mostly the people who get it through fear, through attachment, through like following the leader or whatever, okay, through those people who have gotten it, if they get really sick, if they have detrimental effects and they ask for help, call in, I don't know, Jesus, call in God, call in Mother Mary, call in whoever your person or your being is. But when you ask for help, you become vulnerable, you connect to higher sources, and help can help you. Spirit guides can help you. Higher selves can help you, but you have to ask for it because of that little thing called the law of non-intervention. Okay, so people can be saved, absolutely. I did want her to clarify about August. Is this going to start happening in August? Bhakta already said that people are already taking exit points because of this. We know that. We know that. And of course, the dark side is suppressing the real knowledge about how many people are really taking exit points from getting the V, all right? So people are already perishing. She did not mention anything about August. I don't know why the GFL or members of the GFL will not confirm, I guess, or deny the August date and the fact that people have been V'd and that might happen. But they definitely are saying that something is going to really affect the mainstream in August with more fear, like so much more fear. I mean, was it the last GFL summit where we actually mentioned, imagine if the information came through that the V was actually deadly, and the fear of people who have already gotten the V, fearing that it's deadly, create that upon themselves. I mean, do you see how twisted and manipulative this whole projection, illusion, matrix reality, the only way to rise above it, the only way to exit the matrix at this point, no matter if you have been V'd, you haven't, you have loved ones who have been, is to not hold fear around it. It's that fear. It's that fear is the game that they're playing. And the second that you feel like you've navigated out of one fear, another fear hits you. Exit out of it completely. Understand that you can create your own reality. This is the same message that keeps coming back with every single being we talk to. That was a great question. Thank you so much. Okay, so another hugely upvoted question here from Dino. Hi, EA, can you please ask the GFL about the quantum financial system? Jessera and Nessera, thank you. Perfect. Let's ask, let's just see what they have to say about just the financial collapse and the reset that has supposedly had, have been trying to happen for quite some time. So let's see here. Okay. 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 Okay, so it's so funny. We've got a new being that comes through here. He is first I thought he was Palladian, and then he was way smaller than typical Palladians, like just a very small man. He has dark brown hair, beautiful blue eyes. He's just kind of skinny, like he's just less broad than most of the Palladian Nordics that I encounter. Like usually they're around 6, 7 feet tall. This one's maybe 5'8", 5'9", but just a smaller man. He said that he's half human, half Palladian. He lives up on the Galactic Federation mothership, and he's calling himself a systems analyst, which is really cool. So he is the systems analyst for planet Earth, and he is observing and watching all the systems, which is pretty cool. And I asked him for his name. There is a longer name, but he didn't give it to me. He gave me the short form, which is Till, T-I-L. Till is his name. And it's like the opposite is like lit. I'm like, I'm going to call you lit now. He doesn't like that. I'll call him Till. And what did he say? So he has been observing all of the systems because they all kind of link together as this puzzle. He's definitely been observing the financial system. There are many different ways that the financial system can reset. He said right now there's this huge buildup of collapsing the stock system. It's so beautiful because my wife is like super into stocks, and she's telling me about what's happening in the stock market. And it's wild how the people are taking their power back. Basically, Till was saying that financially, everything that used to mean something will no longer mean something, especially when it comes to stocks. It's getting to this point where there are fake stocks out there, just like there's fake money, and countries are just printing money with no real gold backing. It's crazy. It's crazy. So basically, he said that the reset is going to happen. Like it's going to happen. He said the next 3 to 5 years. I don't know to what extent. He didn't really go into it in depth, but he said, oh yeah, he also said too that they're waiting for other things to collapse and to reset at the same time. And he kind of brought back like technology, like free energy technology, and stuff like that. So he didn't really go into details about what exactly it's going to look like and what the new system is going to look like, because he just said that there's many different solutions here for the new financial system, so that the main goal, no matter what timeline it is, no matter what solution it is that people are always taking their power back. That is always going to be the main goal, is that people are taking their power back. The 1% are no longer the 1%, and the 99% finally have a chance to freaking get ahead in life for the first time. Oh yeah, he's also talking about debt removal of all debt as well, like a debt-free world, which would be really incredible. So So interesting. Okay. Okay. Just want to see if there's any other question. Okay, one more question here. What can we do to help Gaia? And then that is a good question. Okay, and then I'm going to end it off with what's in store for the rest of 2021. So the Gaia question first. Let's take a look here. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, it's interesting. Okay. So tapping into Mother Gaia's energy. At first, there was a couple of things. I'll just mention a couple of things that came through. One is actually just giving her your light, your love, unconditional love. Connecting Mother Gaia to pure source frequency is huge. You can be the connector, okay? Just like we started off this beautiful channel at the beginning, as above, so below. All right. So you can be the connector for Mother Gaia to pure source. That's great. They also talked about like putting a stop to the fracking or putting a stop to the like, you know, plastic in the ocean and doing your part and just doing the small things like recycling at home and like reusing and those kind of things are really, really important. You can also energetically say, you know, something along the lines of Mother Gaia is a sovereign being and refuses to be extorted for resources, right? Like those are that you can kind of back Mother Gaia up energetically. A lot of things, sign petitions, say no, those kind of things. The other thing too that they mentioned was, oh yeah, just literally ask Mother Gaia for what, basically, maybe at nighttime, maybe during meditation, to bring it up and to say, all right, Mother Gaia, you know, I'm here for whatever it is that you need at this time. And when you make that statement, maybe at nighttime, you go and astral travel and you're helping the fires in Australia, or you go and astral travel and you help Mother Gaia's core, or you just give her a big hug, or you start recycling more often, or what have you. But when you say, I am open for Mother Gaia to direct me, but I am here, Mother Gaia, to help you, then it's whatever position you need to be put in, you're going to be put in at the right time, the right place, the right energy. All right. So just keeping that in mind, you can keep that open. Last but not least, what is in store for us for the rest of 2021? I would sure like to know because it's been kind of crazy. Let's maybe go individually and globally, because this is a very small group compared to the rest of the world who is not questioning, not awake, doesn't even believe in, you know, intelligent life out there on other planets, right? So it's like the polarity between the knowledge that we're accessing and the rest of the world, it's increasing, and it's a little worrisome. Okay, before I get there, system override course. If you're still holding fear around the V, please check that out. And then also sign up, go to my website, sign up for a free membership. And we are gonna have actually a free membership tier with some content in there. So eventually, but right now it's really just kind of going onto the website, making an account, and eventually we're gonna be adding more and more stuff. So those are the two things that I recommend after this. And other than that, let's see who comes through for the overall message for what to expect for the rest of the year. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So the two words that come through are disillusion or sovereignty. It's one or the other. This is what we're going to be faced with for the rest of 2021. We are going to be completely either disillusioned or we are going to be completely sovereign. There really isn't a whole lot of stuff in the middle anymore. You're either one or the other. So at an individual level, it's going to feel like a roller coaster ride. You're going to feel totally sovereign, totally free, totally empowered, totally abundant, totally in your manifestor space. And then the next day, you're going to feel totally chaotic, totally confused, totally spiraling, totally worried, totally doubtful. Okay. That's because you've been disillusioned. You've been giving your power away. So it's going to be like that. Then at a global level, okay, and that means ascension symptoms, exhaustion. When you're sovereign, when you're free, it also means psychic abilities, tapping in, telepathy, all of that great stuff as well. Okay. At a global level, super fascinating. Basically, what I saw here was at a global level, what was it? Hold on. Oh, yeah. So interesting. This is the image that I got at a global level for the rest of 2021. Disillusion, disillusion, disillusion. Like it's like the whole planet is going through this like this hole, like this like rabbit hole, and then like a blow up. Like that's what I saw. It was like one timeline, blow up, one direction, blow up, one direction, blow up. Okay. And I'm not necessarily talking about physical explosions, although that may happen. It's more of like a metaphor. It's like, this is what you need to believe. Get on the bandwagon, join the narrative, join everyone else. And all of a sudden, you end up jumping off a cliff with a bunch of other sheeple, and you're like, holy shit, how did I get here? And then the blow up happens, the wake up happens. It's almost like the propaganda. That's what it is. Propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. And then it all blows up because it's fake. It's an illusion. That propaganda, that rabbit hole, that disillusion cannot possibly exist in a higher vibrational frequency. So it's like the dark side trying to take us down one direction. The direction is low vibrational, and then it blows up in their face. So it's like exposure, corruption, truth is the explosion, and the rabbit hole is the propaganda and the fake and the projection. So that's what we can expect at a global level for the rest of 2021. And that's what we can expect at an individual level, is just navigating. Stay sovereign, beautiful star seeds. You deserve to be here. You're here for a reason. Let go of your fear. Transmute yourself into a higher vibration. We are here to fight, but not in the traditional way, because that is a 3D way of going about navigating a lower density paradigm. That's not where we should be at anymore. Okay. We need to step into the frequency that we want the entire world to step into, not fight the frequency that the world is already in. All right. Thank you all so, so much for being here. As always, such an incredible time. I always feel shifted and activated and grounded and aligned and just empowered after these. And thank you, Galactic Federation. Thank you, Mother Gaia, for holding it down for us. And we are here for all of you and for Mother Gaia for whatever you guys need us for. And it's important that all of you offer that too, because it is the law of non-intervention, and some people actually abide by that. So awesome. All right. I will see all of you in the fifth dimension frequency. Bye for now.